Hollywood has often been praised as the land of opportunity, but over the years it has also faced criticism over power, influence, and workplace culture. As more stories have emerged, conversations about accountability have become impossible to ignore. Recently, Terrence Howard added his perspective to that discussion, mentioning several well-known figures while sharing his views on Hollywood's culture and the way influence can shape behavior behind the scenes.
Somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You should have a greater desire.
Howard's comments quickly sparked debate online. While some agreed with his perspective, others disagreed with his conclusions. Either way, his remarks brought renewed attention to Ellen DeGeneres and the public discussion surrounding her career. For years, many people wondered why so few celebrities publicly criticized Ellen despite recurring stories about her workplace. Howard suggested that environments can influence behavior and argued that larger cultural issues within the entertainment industry deserve attention.
Shining back is just another wave of the universe looking at it. Diddy. You know, even Epstein, all of them. What one human being does, all human beings are doing. Because we're just really, what happens in the sea over here, we don't say this wave just crashed.
Interesting thing to say, if one human being does, so meaning someone taught Epstein, someone taught Diddy. When I had Suge Knight on, Suge Knight said, who did he say, Rob, that taught Diddy? He gave a name. Quincy? No, was it Quincy? Clive Davis. Yeah, he said Clive Davis.
Clive Davis.
Yeah, he talked about that, what Clive.
Whether or not people agree with Howard, his comments encouraged audiences to revisit Ellen's public image. For years, she was known as one of television's kindest personalities, giving away gifts, supporting charities, and hosting one of daytime TV's most successful shows. She built a reputation that seemed almost impossible to challenge, making the public reaction that followed all the more surprising.
In a career spanning 3 decades, Ellen DeGeneres has lifted our spirits and brought joy to our lives as a stand-up comic, actor, and television star. In every role, she reminds us to be kind to one another and to treat people as each of us wants to be treated. At a pivotal moment, her courage and candor helped change the hearts and minds of millions of Americans, accelerating our nation's constant drive toward equality and acceptance for all. Again and again, Ellen DeGeneres has shown us that a single individual can make the world a more fun, more open, more loving place, so long as we just keep swimming.
That image changed when former employees publicly described a workplace they said was very different from what viewers saw on television. Their accounts led to widespread media coverage and raised questions about the show's behind-the-scenes culture.
How was she mean to you? Like, give an example of like a day. Like, was it an energy thing? Was she just short with you? I mean, what was exactly?
It was like
happening?
if you didn't pitch in her wheelhouse, then she looked at you like you had just fucking stabbed her puppy. And then there was this process of pushing people out of the circle. And you know, you want to be in the circle because there's a lot of fear going on.
Yeah.
And you're in or out. So there's a lot of like, it didn't really bother me that much because I'd written on a lot of shows before and I kind of knew what it was like to have tough bosses.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote for Bill Maher.
Sure.
And so like, I was just like, tough enough, but then there was these first-time writers they used to cry. There was a lot of crying in the hallways.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just feels like it's not a good energy for a workplace or a show. Like, I feel like you're getting less out of people by treating them like that.
I think so. Yeah, for sure. I think in the long run. I think in the short run you might get more, but in the long run people get exhausted. Yeah. You break them. They can't. And then you hit sweeps, which is like you're working 12, 14-hour days because it's like the ratings months, and then nobody can give anything.
To understand that change, it's important to look at Ellen's career. After an uncertain period, she found enormous success voicing Dory in Finding Nemo, a role that introduced her to a new generation of fans. She then launched The Ellen DeGeneres Show, which became a huge daytime success thanks to its lighthearted interviews, games, giveaways, and uplifting stories. The show won numerous awards and made Ellen one of television's biggest stars. Even during those successful years, however, occasional reports from former writers and staff suggested that working behind the scenes wasn't always as positive as the show's public image.
So inspired by Grace and Chance, she started a record label that she named 1111. Grace and Chance, extremely controlling of every aspect of his career while he was working with her. Ellen did not have the experience, the knowledge, or the know-how on how to propel a child into the music industry on the same level as someone like Justin Bieber. After the release of Grayson's second album and the album underperformed, Grayson has reported that Ellen completely ghosted him. She would not answer the phone, she wouldn't reach out to him, she did not want to work with him at all. She just ghosted him. Grayson would later return to The Ellen Show in 2019, which he describes as a very awkward and staged encounter. Around the time when Grayson had decided to speak up and come forward about his experience working with Ellen, other people also began to come forward.
The conversation surrounding Ellen changed dramatically in 2020 after comedian Kevin T. Porter invited people online to share stories they had heard about her behavior. Thousands of replies appeared within hours, and the discussion quickly spread across social media. Soon afterward, former employees publicly described what they considered to be a toxic workplace, leading to widespread media coverage and an internal investigation. The controversy significantly affected Ellen's public image and eventually led to the end of her long-running daytime show. Years later, Ellen's name returned to online discussions after the highly publicized legal case involving Sean Diddy Combs. Because the two had appeared together publicly and Diddy had been interviewed on her show several times, old interviews and social media posts resurfaced and were widely shared online.
Particularly to Ellen's show, the typical topics of conversation surrounded partying, drinking, women.
You do every night till 6 in the morning. You don't go to clubs every night.
No, I make love a lot.
Your new
yes,
fragrance.
Yes.
Well, why is it called 3 a.m.?
Because we all have a story about 3 a.m. It's in the vicinity of, the time you do bad things.
Your party start, let's say.
Those resurfaced interviews led many people to revisit past conversations that had once seemed like ordinary celebrity interviews. Viewers began looking at familiar moments through a different perspective as Diddy's legal troubles dominated headlines. The renewed attention also expanded to people who had been close to Diddy over the years. Among them was Kim Porter, whose passing has remained the subject of ongoing public discussion and online speculation. Various interviews and commentaries added to that conversation, although many claims circulating online remain unverified.
But they recently just made a statement that they found loads of cocaine. I wonder what they did with the cocaine, because they didn't turn it over to the police. They said they found loads of cocaine, razor blades. They said that the sheets were bloody, nasty. They found a whole lot of used condoms. And it was a Diddy party, giving in Meek Mill's honor for his birthday. I was like, yo, wow. They said it was disgusting the way that they left the place. So I know they got hit with another bill on top of that $25,000 and the different deposits they had to put down for cleanup and all this other stuff.
As more archived interviews resurfaced, internet discussions grew even larger. Podcasts, YouTube channels, and social media users revisited old stories, trying to understand how public perception had changed so dramatically. At the same time, many people also revisited Ellen's past interviews with Diddy. While these clips fueled debate online, they did not by themselves establish wrongdoing and were interpreted differently by different viewers.
That Al knows that Puff has some powerful people, or had some powerful people around him, and some people doing some things for him that could danger his life. His life could be in danger. I don't think nobody would be paying for some security if they didn't think their life was in danger. So I could see Al doing that. I understand why Al is doing that. And I just wish them all the luck. You got to realize, man, Kim's death wasn't even investigated, bro. Her death wasn't even investigated. And it should have been a proper investigation so all the family members can feel like that there was no foul play in her death. How is it that you know how we are as a people? I don't believe that 10% of your viewers that's watching this don't keep their phone when they go to sleep in arm reach? How is it that there was no electronic products or gadgets around Kim's bed? Her laptop missing, her cell phone's missing. Everything is missing that she could get in touch with her little girls if they not at home or some friends or family. All that's missing. How is it that, and this is hearsay, that the detectives did not even view the body in the bed where she died at? That the coroner had already removed her, pronounced her dead, and told the detectives that it was no foul play. And if that is true, as I've heard it, and we've read certain things on the internet about it, that case needs to be reopened. We know that Kim, and it's in the this is in the documentation. Shout out to paperwork, at the paperwork part. I gotta shout him out, man, because he looked in the paperwork and it said Kim received a massage for about an hour when she's supposed to have full-blown pneumonia. Who gives somebody a massage when they got pneumonia? And do we know whether she used that baby oil or not?
By this point, the discussion had become much bigger than any one celebrity. It had evolved into a broader conversation about Hollywood, public image, accountability, and how quickly reputations can change. Terrence Howard's comments became part of that larger debate, encouraging audiences to think about the entertainment industry as a whole. Whether people agree with his views or not, they have helped keep these discussions in the public spotlight.
I want to touch on because I know the environment that Ellen cultivated that might have weighed on Twitch harder than others, and being in a hostile work environment will cause anyone to question their worth. I personally do not believe that Ellen had a thing to do with the passing of Twitch. I do have a theory about Twitch's passing, and it more brain activity.
Many questions continue to be debated online, but separating verified facts from speculation remains important. What is clear is that Hollywood has changed, and audiences are paying closer attention to the behavior of influential public figures than ever before. As more stories continue to emerge, these conversations are likely to continue. What ultimately shapes public opinion will depend on verified information rather than online speculation alone. What do you think? Have recent events changed the way you view Hollywood, or do you think public perception can shift too quickly? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.